Cicada by Shaun tells the story of a hard-working cicada who has worked in an office building for 17 years, which has slowly deteriorated his quality of life due to a plethora of reasons, including being overworked, bullied, and underappreciated. In an interview, Tan explains that Cicada was inspired by migrant workers who tend to be blended into the background of an office environment, as well as being overlooked and ignored. He also said that Cicada was inspired by his own personal experience moving from Malaysia to Australia to study. Like his main protagonist, Tan explains that he was a hard worker but spoke very little English, and therefore his efforts were often underappreciated. Tan uses simple yet effective, simplistic sentences throughout the book, juxtaposed with dreary grey images in order to portray the tones of the story. Tan deliberately chooses a stark white background for his text-only pages, so that the reader's attention is quickly pulled to the images on the other side, which are meticulously detailed and employ compelling imagery to make their point. Because the office, people, and suits are all shades of grey, Tan is able to convey the thoughts Cicada has about his place of employment, while still making the protagonist, who is a vibrant colour green, easy to identify amongst the busyness of the images. Except for two shots that depict the intensity of the office atmosphere, all of the images have the viewer's angle set at Cicada's height, which lets the viewers empathize with the poor tiny creature. At the end of the book, Cicada retires and goes to the top of the building to say goodbye. Although this has an implied, much darker meaning, Cicada sheds his business skin and becomes a shining scarlet cicada, ready to fly off with the others. Tan explains that this was symbolic of Cicada finding his freedom, shedding the responsibility of the stressful office life and making peace. One of the last lines in the story says, "Cicada all fly back to forest. Sometimes think about human. Can't stop laughing. Talk, talk, talk." This is a representation of Cicada coming out on top after facing his workplace challenges and finding serenity. It also shows that the humans are still working while he is free because of the ticking clock's constant repetition. The gorgeous, vibrant watercolor rainforest utopia on the final page is ideal for a free cicada. The inclusion of this image is symbolic because it is the only one in the narrative to make use of this art form, and it depicts the setting that Cicada can only imagine as contrasted to his orderly, uninteresting office building. Overall, this narrative is about overcoming obstacles, finding peace, and it also sheds light on the dark and political themes that are still present in contemporary society. It also uses an adorable protagonist and straightforward writing that effectively conveys the message.